Transit Arts.
Hi everybody, my name is Andre, and today I'll be reading a little book with you. This book, named Thank You Amu, is by Mora, and I like this book because it reminds me of my grandmother when she makes delicious meals and how it wafts through the neighborhood and, gets me really hungry, so I like to eat food. So today, this is the book we're going to be reading. I hope you enjoy. Thank You Amu by Mora. On the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Amu was cooking a very thick red stew in a big fat pan for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred, and it took a small taste. "What a delicious meal," Amu said. "Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I've ever had." With that, Amu put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until someone was at the door. When Amu opened it, she saw a little boy. "Little boy," Amu explained, "what brings you to my home?" "I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell," the little boy said. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." Stew," he sighed. "That sure sounds yummy." Amu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. "Would you like some?" The little boy nodded. And so, Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the little boy replied, and he went on his way. With that, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. As she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until someone was at the door. When Amu opened the door, this time she saw a police officer. "Miss Police Officer," Amu explained, "what brings you to my home?" "I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell," Miss Officer replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ah, stew," she said, and her mouth watered. "That sounds mighty tasty." That does sound mighty tasty. Amu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. "Would you like some?" The police officer nodded, and once again, Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the police officer said, and she went on her way. And for the second time, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until, again, someone was at Amu's door. This time, when she opened it, she saw a hot dog vendor. "Mr. Hot Dog Vendor," Amu explained, "what brings you to my home?" "I was selling hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious meal," Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ooh, stew." The vendor licked his lips. "That sounds quite delectable." That really does sound delectable. Make me hungry. So Amu spilled out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the hot dog vendor said, and he went on his way. Throughout the day, People from all across the neighborhood knocked on Amu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker, and even the mayor stopped by. And each time they knocked, Amu shared. It's a very nice lady. Soon, the sky darkened. The street lights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Amu opened the big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, it was empty. Oh no. Amu sniffled. There goes the best dinner I ever had. Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until... Who could that be? Amu wondered. When she opened the door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. I'm sorry, everyone, Amu explained. My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. The little boy tugged at Amu's sleeve. Don't worry, Amu. We're not here to ask. We're here to give. The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Amu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who knocked on Amu's door that day squeezed in her tiny apartment, and together they ate, and they danced, and they celebrated. While Amu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best she had ever had. And there it says, thank you, Amu. Now, I think this was a really, really good book. Like I said before, it reminds me of my grandmother when she makes food for us. This book was done by Mora, and she's a winner of the Ezra Jack Keats Award, the Coretta Scott King John Steptoe New Talent Illustrator Award. That's a lot, and a Caldecott honor for thank you, Amu. In Igbo, the Nigerian language of her parents, Amu means queen. Yet for Ogi, growing up, it meant grandma. When not painting in her studio, Ogi was in the kitchen cooking her late grandmother's recipes. She enjoyed creating warm stories that celebrated community. She lived in Providence, Rhode Island, and invites you to visit her website, where she has other books. So that's pretty cool how Amu means queen, but for her it meant grandmother. So if you have a grandmother or elders in your life, make sure you're appreciative of them, you know. But overall, this is a really good book, and thank you for sitting with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Transit Arts.